All right, everyone. So I know this is not great quality, but that's what you get. So for those of you who do not know, I am Ryan, the indie nerd, and I am going to be watching Heroes of Wrestling from 1999, just to give you some of the beautiful, beautiful match quality stuff that we are going to have here tonight that I am watching. First off, it is 2.5 hours. It was a one-time only pay-per-view because it did so poorly. But so our matches that we have are the Samoan SWAT team versus Marty Jannetty and Tommy Rogers. Okay. Greg Valentine versus George Steele. Two Cold Scorpio versus Julio Fantastico. I'm assuming that might be our match of the night here. We've got the Bushwhackers versus the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. All right, interesting match. Tully Blanchard versus Stan Lane. Abdullah the Butcher with Honest John Cheatham versus the One Man Gang. Jimmy Snuka with Captain Lou Albano versus Bob Orton Jr. Another classic matchup. Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy versus Jake Roberts and Yokozuna. That is the main event of this one. For those of you who know anything about this pay-per-view, you would know that it was originally advertised that it was going to be Jake Roberts in a singles match for the main event, but he was so intoxicated and just all sorts of not coherent that they had to make it a tag team match so that he would not have to do much for this. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on this. Again, doesn't look like many people are going to watch this. I don't care. You're going to get 2.5 hours of me judging a wrestling that I've never watched before. So, yeah. Oh boy. King Kong Bundy starting this off with some promo. Oh boy, and Yokozuna is not looking good. He's very heavy set. This is towards the end of his life. He's got a really weird beard going on. I think that's the best part about this, is that they're making sure everybody knows that these are the former Bushwhackers, the former Yokozuna, the former Jake the Snake Roberts, acting like they're dead when it's really they just can't use their names for this, but they are still using their names. So that's something.
The Mississippi Gulf Coast, 30 years ago, was nearly blown off the map by Hurricane Camille. Since then, the Mississippi Gulf Coast has become one of America's premier resort destinations. And it just
I don't think the Mississippi Gulf Coast has ever been the premier American resort town. I'm also glad that they're making light of a devastating hurricane by saying that due to this event, you might have a natural disaster strike. So that's something. That's an interesting take on how to get this going. It's interesting just how many people have passed away that are in this.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful Casino Magic in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, and welcome to a historic night. The Heroes of Wrestling. Are you ready?
I mean, this. I mean, at least they have pyro. I mean, oh. I mean, if you wanted to see the go-to idea of what white trash is, the first image of this pay-per-view is just a man in jorts and a very, very, very tight white beater. So our commentators tonight are Dutch Mantell, also known as Jack Swagger's manager, and of course his name in WWE is kind of going away from me here.
Sherry Martel in this corner as well.
Yeah, we got that Sherry Martel on the outside. Hammer battle down, a great wrestler. George Animal still unpredictable. A great matchup here tonight.
Cocky youngster, Julio Fantastic.
Oh, Zeb Coulter. That's who he is. So that's something. The other guy that we've got is
these guys have been going at it. Then the other tag team grudge match. This is going to be a good one.
Okay, look at those two goofballs who down there taking on Nikolai Volkov.
So there was originally going to be Dutch Mantell and Gordon Solly, but Gordon Solly got throat cancer right before the event, so they had to get somebody totally different, and what they got is a guy named Randy Rosenblum, who supposedly has never commentated wrestling before, isn't a wrestling fan, so definitely going to be interesting seeing him. I mean, he is making sure everybody knows that these are all throwback matches. So that's, again, this is not promising. So it was originally supposed to be Jake the Snake Roberts versus Jim Neidhart. That was going to be the main event. And then the second main event was going to be Yokozuna versus King Kong Bundy in a battle of the super heavyweights. So. Dutch Mantle is wearing a poncho for some reason. This is indoors. He is not. Legendary grudge matches will be settled.
Because tonight, somebody's going to get their ass whooped tonight in here.
Someone's going to get their ass whooped.
Coming to the ring first.
Oh, the mullets.
From the island of Samoa, accompanied with manager Paul Adams, Batu, and Samu, the Samoan SWAT team at a combined weight of 650 pounds.
So they to start this off, they introduced the Samoan SWAT team, but then show the title cards for Marty Jannetty and somebody else. Two people who are totally not the Samoan SWAT team. So that's interesting. Starting off with a bang. And the person coming out is neither Marty Jannetty or the Samoan SWAT team. Oh, there they are. This is their manager. We finally decided to show the Samoan SWAT team, who are Well, at least they're in character. Their managers just swinging towels around. It's something. Well, they just dropped the first World Wrestling Federation line. That's something. Oh, we've got two managers for these guys, so that's good. This is not a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Nobody wanted this.
When I was approached about being part of the Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view, I had to think to myself, Self, what do you want to do to announce your presence nationwide with authority? So I said to myself, Self,
I'm glad he's talking in like the second person.
To the top of the food chain, the SST. Go to Biloxi, Mississippi for the Heroes of Wrestling. For the Heroes of Wrestling and find two big heroes. So we've got Marty Jannetty, we've got Tommy Rogers, and basically here's how the deal's going to go down. Since I understand perfectly well that wrestling fans, not only here in Biloxi, but around the world,
So it's in Biloxi, Mississippi. It's also in St. Louis, Mississippi. It's also in the Gulf Coast. It's also on the beach. So we've got four different places that we've been named already.
and take on two guys like this yourself. I understand you'd have to drink about a 12-pack of liquid courage before you'd ever even entertain the idea of coming in here and fighting these two men.
Oh boy, already talking about how you Okay, so commentators want us to know that this is not Biloxi, Mississippi. This is, in fact, St. Louis, Mississippi, and that they have gotten the name wrong. All right. The music is just the same music for everybody. Now we've got the rocker Marty Jannetty, and their entrance is just smoke, and there they are. And Jesus, it's not going to be a good match. They're trying to give high fives to the crowd, and they are missing. So that's something. We've got random people with whistles. We've got microphones that aren't working already. This is the beginning of the show. We have not gotten even into the first match, and we've had a lot of mistakes. On the side of the ring, they have a small wall, like an elevated spot on the ring itself, to say where they're at, and to call their number so that you can talk to them and book your own trip. This is at the Casino Magic.
I understand that, but I got to get my opinion across.
Well, you get your opinion across, but it's going to be discounted because of 9 years in the minute and 9 years of knowing what
The ring bell is a cowbell.
Here we go.
Marty Jannetty starts for his team over there.
Just think of that. The ring bell is a cowbell.
Alienating the crowd.
They clearly do not know what they're doing here.
They're certainly not trying to win any friends.
And they're not doing a very good job of it.
But let me tell you one thing, Randy. Friends don't win matches for you.
This is Marty Jannetty. He's turned on the crowd. A lot of pride here, American pride, and a home crowd it's turned into for Jannetty and Fantastic Rogers. And Marty Jannetty's no joke. He's playing up the crowd right now.
Well, he's trying to get the crowd behind him. But see, that's because he knows that he might get broke down like a 410 shotgun by this Samoan SWAT team. Look at the power there.
That's
Very
Samoan.
good. Very
He
good.
says, wait a minute, we're here too.
Wait a minute, I can voice my opinion. Yeah, like you can. I live in America. You know, I got a First Amendment right. I can talk if I so desire.
So Dutch Mantle going on about America and what America does and what America can't do. They've already knocked down the sign for the Casino Magic, and Marty Jannetty, after knocking it down, has made sure to put it back up. And then they had somebody come over to recenter it, make sure that it's there, and to make sure that nobody walks in front of it. That's something.
Paul Adams on the outside with the Samoan SWAT team.
Hammering away is Samu. And look at Jannetty down.
Coming back.
He takes him down.
Oh, I mean, Marty Jannetty. Oh, So Marty Jannetty dove on the ground to let one of the Samoan SWAT members run and jump over him, and instead the Samoan SWAT team member fell on the ground as if he had got punched in the face. There was no tag made, but then the ref said there was a tag, and so both the other members came in. So it was the other Samoan SWAT member and Jannetty's tag team partner, Fantastic Tommy Rogers, comes in. But Jannetty was still trying to do his part, so he's trying to hit moves on the new Samoan SWAT member person. And it's a mess. Now they're calling them the Wild Samoans. Something about how you can't tell the Samoans apart. Extremely racist. The Samoan SWAT members just attacked each other. So Dutch Mantle is trying to explain all the moves, but he's also trying to play the heel commentator role. But he's also trying to talk about how America first and patriotism, and he's making sure to correct all the mistakes that the other guy is making. It's gonna be a long 2 hours. A low blow is acceptable in this match, so that's something. Like right in front of the ref, just kicks him right in the balls. There's no countouts, it looks like, because people just keep on walking off and no counts.
Never were a regular tag team.
That's right.
They are bits and pieces of other tag teams. Whereas the Samoan SWAT team, they're a regular team in their own right. So what you got here with Jannetty and Rogers, you got like a ragtag team. Actually, I think they're doing pretty good here. I don't think it's going to last, of course, but I think they're doing pretty good.
Montana is in the headline here from Marty Jannetty.
Good looking guy. Look at that. Nice face.
Threw the elbow on that. That got right into the midsection of Jannetty, but he backs him up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
down. 1, 2,
Oh.
and a kick out. Kick out.
Crossbodies are getting near falls.
Still working the crowd.
I think what he's doing is making these Samoans mad. You don't want to make a Samoan mad. You don't want to make a Samoan. Old Baldy better sit down there.
They came into the ring mad.
Before somebody slapped him next week.
The fans are trying to antagonize anybody they can.
Jannetty and Rogers have been more dominant here. Shine the Samoans to this point. Let's see what SST can do here after the strategical maneuver outside of
The sign has now been taken down off the side of the ring.
Keep moving. Roger knows he's better keep moving. Don't. Hey, if these guys get them grounded, they're in bad trouble. How many lay on these 300 pounds plus on them, brother? It takes a lot. It takes.
I kicked out him right in the back.
That's a move. That's a move that they perfected. And they know exactly what the other was doing.
So kicks to the back get you a warning from the ref.
That doesn't sort of make your night, does it?
No.
But
here we go. Roger trying to get in.
crotch shots are legal, but kicks to the back earn you warnings. Jannetty is also selling his groin from a kick to the back.
Well, he's got his hands full. He's trying to watch not just 4 guys. He's trying to watch 6 guys now, which becomes very difficult. I mean, I could do it, but the regular guy would sort of upset the regular person. But I could do it. You'd probably have trouble with it.
Sam Lou hammering away.
Oof. And
that one stung, and Jannetty's in pain.
Jannetty tried to run the ropes, and the ropes didn't move, so he just took the whole brunt of the full impact right on the back.
All locked up. Fantastic Rogers on
The ref keeps on going back to Fantastic Rogers to tell him not to do things when the Samoan SWAT team are doing the things. They're using chairs.
Jannetty right in the square of the back, and he's down.
The ref is looking by himself. He's looking at a side where nobody is. Now they are deciding to count. He's yelling at other people.
We'll be okay. They move to the other side and down on the cement. There's carpet there, but underneath the carpet, Jannetty hit that, and there is cement. And again, the attention of Fantastic Tommy Rogers not liking the way his puck is being thrown around.
You watch some more. They'll get like a pack of hyenas out here. They'll stomp and they'll back up and they'll draw off. They're trying to get to Jannetty. They know he's.
This is fucking horrible.
We're going to work on it. They're very methodical, very brutal. And I can see Sicker right now. He's congratulating them on a good move. Oh! He went for it.
That was about 350 pounds coming down off the rope.
He went for it. See if he can make the tag here.
He's got to make the tag.
Let's see if he can make it to Rogers.
He got the tag, and here comes Fantastic Tommy Rogers. He comes out kicking.
Yes, for the right.
Off the ropes with a flying leg kick. And Fantastic Tommy Rogers coming out, and there's a body slap.
Oh, he got under him there. Hands together.
And the headbutt.
That doesn't hurt him.
All 3 of them colliding.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt the Samoans. Hit them in the head. That doesn't hurt them. Seems like Tommy Rogers after all these years will know that. He ducked it. Wait a minute. Oh!
Takes them both down.
Double DDT. Let's see if they can keep it rolling. These guys are
I just love when refs act like they've never seen wrestling before.
Let's see if they can take it home now. Let's see if they can bring home the bacon. Drop kick comes from outside.
The rope comes spot 2.
We see our ring announcer. Oh, that drop!
Jannetty almost just slammed his head right onto the concrete. There's no padding at the bottom of the...
Here we go. Wait a minute. Rogers is up. This could be it. Oh,
Down.
face buster. 1, 2, 3.
That was the fastest count I've ever seen
the Samoan SWAT team.
The Samoan SWAT team wins
Great.
in one of the fastest counts I've ever seen. It was a quick 1, 2, 3, and
They can always put that in their resume. They beat Marty Jannetty, and they beat Tommy Rogers right here on the first ever Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view.
the first ever Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view. The only Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view.
On his back, and Marty Jannetty. Actually, Jannetty been pushed to the beating during this as we take a look at the replay of the finish of this one.
You don't have to be a brain scientist to know what's coming next. So when you get picked up,
Don't need to be a brain scientist.
You're going down for that Samoan drop, or you going down? You got an alternate
1, 2, 3.
Either case, network Samoan SWAT team.
After he had counted to 3, he waved it off originally just to say no. It counts.
Here's another
Fantastic time to rise. We're looking at one more time.
Oh, we got another great angle here. Watch this spin. This is beautiful. This is textbook. Oh, brother, he jammed him. We're going to see it one more time. 1, 2, 3. That means Tommy Rogers actually got beat 3 times here tonight.
Heroes of Wrestling, www.scoopwrestling.com or www.heroesofwrestling.com. We have a lot of great gear, hats of Heroes of Wrestling, memorabilia.
So I'm glad that
pick up all the knowledge of the Heroes of Wrestling.
Heroes of Wrestling had two websites, Scoops Wrestling and Heroes of Wrestling.
Shirts, they're unbelievable memorabilia.
Oh, it's very nice stuff.
Oh boy.
There's Sherry Martell and George the Animal Steel. Of course,
Sherry Martell and George the Animal Steel are here.
Wrestling partnership. This could be a lot more than that. Based off what we saw in the pre-show, Dutch, they're awfully friendly.
You know, I think you'd like to watch it. I think you'd like to go in people's bedrooms and look what they're doing, you know.
There's George the Animal Steel.
So now we've got them saying that they want to watch to see if George the Animal Steel and Sherry Martell have sex.
They look to be very friendly.
Well, they look like they're having a very good time, I might add. I think George the Animal Steel and Sherry, they make a nice couple.
Who booked up, and George the Animal Steel has now ripped off the shirt of Sherry Martell.
Back in the dressing room area, I got the opportunity. The world is about Sherry Martell. About
and now we're up to Sherry Martell.
You know, in the wrestling business, you get to the top by your body count. George the Animal Steel is the one man that is certifiably insane, and everybody's seen it. They know it for sure. But I have got an animal that we take anybody.
To get to the top of the wrestling world, you need to have a high body count.
Yeah. Let's head to the ring.
Very much, Michael, and let's go back into the ring. We're going to get the...
Oh, they just put the sign back up.
Will be singles competition. First off, from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 252 pounds, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Ah, there he comes. Greg the Hammer Valentine. You see Randy Rosenblum. That is your name, isn't it? Your name is Randy Rosenblum, of course. Greg the Hammer Valentine making his way to the ring. Here's a man who's had many minutes.
Greg the Hammer Valentine. Zero music. Interesting. No, Joey, I will not get naked for you. What a comment. What a comment. I'm currently, even though you can't really see it. Oh, hold on. So Greg Valentine is a heel. George the Animal Steel is a heel.
They have been beauty for years and years. Well, my father is retired now.
Heel versus heel.
And I take it over. George Steele has the guts to still call himself a wrestler. Well, tonight it's going to be all over. It's all going to be all over for you, George Steele. You're going to lay down and die. I'm going to put the finger four leg lock on you. And Sherry, I'm going to walk out with you, baby.
Oh!
Greg Valentine claiming he's going to kill George the Animal Steel with a figure four right leg lock, and then walk home with Sherry Martel. George Steele also no music.
Please welcome George the Animal Steele.
And Sherry Martel's name in this is Sensuous Sherry Martel.
There's the sensuous Sherry Martel leading her protege down the aisle. George the Animal Steele.
George the Animal Steele is not her protege. Protege means that that's who you taught how to wrestle, like how to wrestle or how to do things. I don't think Sherry Martel taught George the Animal Steele how to wrestle.
Of course, George has the hairy back and the green tongue. He loves to eat and tear apart the corner turnbuckle pads, but he wants a part of Valentine right now.
Well, he can eat those pads later. I think he needs to concentrate on. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Now it's hard to pick. This is a toss-up list. I may have given a favorite a little earlier on, but I'm telling you, it's sort of hard to pick.
So anyway, as I was gonna say, the shirt I'm wearing instead of what Joey has mentioned is I'm wearing a Out of Ashes shirt. Out of Ashes is one of my friends' bands. There's also two members of Deep Six are in there, and the glorious Robbie Rotten and Glenn Crawford, who's their bass player, guitar player, while the glorious Robbie Rotten is, of course, their singer.
He's already wrote Sherry Martel into the ring. And there's
protection there from the Animal.
Greg Valentine just said a few moments ago that he's going to leave this casino tonight with.
This is a shit show.
Now, we have to wait to see if that's going to happen.
Greg Valentine in the ring, still counting to see if he's out.
Wait a minute. He's already latched onto his arm.
He's going after the shot turnbuckle already.
Wait a minute.
He wants to eat that turnbuckle.
He loves to eat turnbuckles.
Fans want him to use too.
Fans, what you seen tonight? You've seen some of the guys who made wrestling what it is today. George the Animal Steele, a legendary figure in the world of professional wrestling, as is Greg the Hammer Valentine.
The Hammer's arm, he hurt his left arm when the Animal got to it.
Well, listen.
Animal licked Greg Valentine's arm. Greg Valentine is now selling it as if his arm is falling off.
A little bit of seasoning never hurt anyone. What's the referee's name?
David Winnell.
Okay,
don't know referees' names here. That's good.
The Animal about the rules. I don't think Animal cares about the rules.
Can't see his hairy back with that shirt off. He's got to take that thing off. There you go. And with his shirt covering his eyes, Valentine goes to work with the elbow. Another elbow at the top of the head.
That wasn't the smartest move I've ever seen.
No.
The boy, your shirt up, you can't
see.
Of course, you can't see. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to
exposed right now. Ooh!
Hammer going to work.
Right on the knee. Working that knee over his Valentine.
Wait a minute. The shirt's still over his head.
He's got to get that shirt off. The shirt's going to help him out. Wait a minute. She's working on the Animal. What's going on here?
Okay. Wait a minute. Animal doesn't know that's happening.
He has no clue that Sherry was
working
for Valentine.
He doesn't have much of a clue to start off with. Wait a minute.
2-on-1 the wrong way.
Oh boy, and Sherry Martel is turned on the Animal already. Starting off. Match has been going on for like 3 minutes. I think 3 moves have been hit, and Sherry Martel has hit 2 of them. Oh, and she's still attacking him. She is screaming into his face while his shirt is on his head because it's stuck due to the hair on his back. And the ref is allowing it to happen when it's clearly outside interference that he's watching.
Greg the Hammer Valentine back. Sherry Martel. Pounding the mat, looking towards Greg Valentine. Wait a minute, it's off now. But he doesn't know what happened.
He has no clue.
He has no clue what
now
happened.
Sherry's exhorting him on to come out of the glove.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. He's looking for something. Wait a minute. He's got something. Oh,
What are you poking with? You got him right in the neck. It is an object of some type. I can't see what it is.
well, it looks like something long with some tape wrapped around it. Wait a minute, Sherry's there saying, well, there's Sherry here. He gives it back to her. He is still putting trust in the Sherry.
So Sherry is helping both of them.
See how women are, excuse me, man, you never had a woman, but you see how they are, you know, they'll turn on you.
I ignored that comment, I want you to know. Sherry Martel now on the apron, exhorting the animal on, but it's the Hammer who's doing just that. He's working on the animal's feet. Oh, got him right. Well, you know, you got him in that sweet spot with that leg kick.
Another low blow that the refs just ignore after they see it.
Now, you know, George, that thing's spending way too much time over there in the corner.
Yeah, he's got to get on the Hammer.
Wait a minute, Sherry gave him what Steele gave her. What the hell is going on here? Well, I'm gonna say,
I'm glad the ref or the crowd even knows that this is shit.
I thought they were a love interest, and now she's
They've been booing this entire match.
where they are. Where they are. You know, love. I sort of
It's
enjoy.
very fickle.
I sort of concept of it that they set Georgia still up. This is another way I.
You got to feel bad for the animal.
Well, oh, wait a minute. There it is. He's got it in his
That is the foreign object that's come into play very much in the Hammer Valentine George the Animal Steel match. Hammer Steel trying to punch his way out of the corner.
Sherry rolling into the ring. Sherry rolling into the ring, retrieving that object that fell out that had. I think it fell out of his trunks and he didn't know it.
I have never seen a foreign object like this.
Dutch is already off headset and he's talking with Sherry Martel. Dutch is very much involved with the match. Sherry Martel.
Now Animal is his face.
Well,
we're rooting for Animal. The try here at Casino Magic.
Sherry just gave him the object back. And oh, it fell down. Wait a minute. It fell. The Animal's got it. He's got it up now.
The Animal clearly holding a foreign object in his hand in front of the ref. The ref does not care. It is not an ODQ match. This is really weird booking.
Sherry doing a little comforting on George the Animal Steel now, rubbing his head, caressing him, telling him, okay, baby.
And Sherry Martel has just done a hard chair shot to the head to George Steele, and the match ends. The ref watched it happen.
And now she's done a complete turnabout and about face here.
Wait a minute.
Steele's going after him.
He's going after. Oh, he sent her over the top.
Right out of the ring.
Oh, Sherry is outside. Now feel bad for Sherry. Man, I've been talking emotionally in this in so many ways. I don't know which way I'm going now.
I'm glad that even the commentators are confused on what is going on in this match and what the storytelling was.
He's upset or he needs counseling, he needs therapy.
He has the fans on his side screaming, animal, animal.
Well, I think they're saying more like animal. That's the way they say it. Wait a minute. Look here. Oh, wait. Here comes the chair.
He's just tossing chairs into the ring. Nobody's there.
Bobby Knight made this in basketball a very famous act. Steele is just showing his anger. Oh, yeah, and why not? He should be angry. What happened to him tonight? He was double-crossed and double-teamed.
But don't you think that's really a bad example set for the youth of America? There goes the turnbuckle.
Oh, boys,
Fans, have we seen this one?
they're trying to sell it like he ate the turnbuckle, but the camera clearly shows him rip it. The Hammer just came back out, hit him with a chair. He no-sold the chair shot, let him run off, and now is trying to chase after him after he has disappeared.
George the Animal Steel, he has wrecked our ring here tonight at Casino Matches.
I'm glad the commentary just said this was a mess. 40 minutes in.
Okay, while they're cleaning this up, fans, let's take a look at this. There you see the object that Greg the Hammer Valentine hit.
Fucking hate this.
Not once, but several times. And we sent a great slow-mo action here.
I refuse to lose another pay-per-view. This is going to be the outcome of this stuff.
Moment of this match was Sherry Martel completely out of left field. We knew that she was kind of moved it over into Valentine's corner. That put Steel on his back and made it very easy for the Hammer to take him down to the bridge.
You know, what happened here, Sherry Martel, and now we see George Steele finally realized what's happening. He's finally taken a little bit of a retaliation against George was out of the ring, and brother, I don't think there's going to be some bad blood flowing over about this.
I think we can safely say that the relationship with George the Animal Steel and Sherry Martel is over. You can forget that. How far it'll go with Valentine and Sherry, we don't know. But that was an odd turn of events here at Casino Magic. We didn't expect that.
No, I didn't expect
that Sherry Martel would be there for the Animal, and obviously she went completely the other way.
Nobody expected it. Sherry Martel, Greg Valentine, working in concert to take the win over George the Animal Steel. And I'm, for one, in my heart, I'm a compassionate man. I feel a little bad for the Animal.
And how does the Animal recover from this on the Heroes of Wrestling? He comes back, he goes after the Hammer. He not only loses the match, he loses his sweet gal.
Oh, well, you know.
He's not so sweet anymore.
Well, like I said before, going to be some repercussions off this. But hey, losing Sherry, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's better off without her. You ever think about it like that? But let's put a silver lining in the cloud, and you know, it may be better off without Sherry Martel.
I'm sure the Animal Steel will want a rematch. He's going to want to get his girl back. He certainly want to get back at Hammer Valentine. Maybe he won't want that girl back. We're going to go over to Michael St. John in the dressing room.
Julio Fantastico facing the challenge of his life tonight against Too Cold Scorpio, who's already said he's going to beat your tail.
Let me tell you something. You have no clue that you are in the presence of greatness as we speak, okay? And Too Cold Scorpio, you're going down tonight because I am wrestling's greatest superstar, and I'm here to prove to the world why I deserve everything I get and why I am going to win every match I ever wrestle again.
Oh man, Julio Fantastico, guaranteeing he will never lose a wrestling match ever again.
In all of professional wrestling today, you've got a lot to prove in that ring.
Oh, I am the measuring stick, not him, you understand? I'm the reason why we're here tonight. I'm the reason you're here. I'm the reason you cheer, not Too Cold Scorpio.
Too Cold Scorpio, he has gained his name. He has been a champion. He's been a half of the World Tag Team Champion. He's a man that can take care of himself. I think you're underestimating what this man can do in the ring.
I'm not underestimating anything. I'm telling you, I'm confident. It's not conceit. And buddy, you're going down tonight because I am the best you've ever wrestled, man.
Well, tonight we're going to see right here on the Heroes of Wrestling what Too Cold Scorpio and this man, Julio Fantastico, can do. Let's head these men to the ring right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match of the evening. From Tierra del Mexico, weighing in at 221 pounds, Julio S. Fantastico.
There comes a very brash young man. He's only 27 years of age. He's an aerial wrestler. He's young. This is his first pay-per-view event, and he's very hungry. And he loves the ladies, too. He's a real playboy outside the ring, and he talks it up inside the ring. He's got an attitude.
Well, this is my first look at Julio Fantastico, so I'm going to look no judgment on him until I see him. But he moves like he's in good shape. He moves like he's got the build, he's got the look. So I'm going to look no judgment on this. Let's get Too Cold Scorpio out here. Then I will give you my expert analysis.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, weighing in at 225 pounds, from Denver, Colorado, Too Cold Scorpio.
Here is a very exciting wrestler.
I just love how if one person gets entrance music, the other person gets the exact same music. If the first person doesn't get music, neither of them get music.
Well, when you talk about pay-per-views, you're talking about more than just a one-night.
Two Cold Scorpios coming to the ring with a wrestling belt. He's coming in with the old WCW heavyweight title, which I don't think he ever won.
He didn't say it in his interview right before he came out here, but what he has said in the past, he is wrestling what Michael Jordan was the basketball. So we'll see. He's not a superstar yet, but in his mind he is. So perception, in my opinion, perception is everything.
Well, but the perception is getting the crowd behind him. So far, he's doing a good job. Of course, he's a wrestler that's burned in Japan, Mexico before coming to the States, and he knows how to work crowds.
Well, I tell you, sort of Lion Cop too. They know how to work crowds too. You better get the ring battle.
Two Cold Scorpio has the loudest pop so far.
And Todd Taylor, the referee, trying to push him away.
Well, I think it's a great night here so far, Randy Rosenblatt. We've seen a couple of very excellent.
I'm pretty sure the belt he has is a fake belt, like a toy belt.
The host of this event of Heroes of Wrestling here, now we see Two Cold Scorpio. And I don't know how many times these guys have wrestled each other in the past, but I think there is some bad blood behind them. Wait a minute. We're being joined out here by the legend of legends, Randy Rosenblatt. I don't know if you know him, but the Captain Lou Albano has joined us out here. Here he is. Captain, please be our guest.
And now Captain Lou is on commentary.
Captain, how are you?
Come in and join us, Captain.
There's Captain Lou Albano.
So the microphones also go into throughout the arena for the commentators. So they're commentating over the match, over the crowd as well.
This Julio, look at this Julio. Look at the Scorpio that he's with. Look at the talent they have here tonight. This is one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest events of all time.
Julio, this Scorpio.
The Heroes of Wrestling, baby. You got Dutch Martel doing a great job. You're not doing a bad job in yourself, so we might give you a raise. But let's go from here.
Thank you for the time.
All right. You're down for an extra couple of grand a week, Dutch, because you're doing a terrific job.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Giving raises out on air.
Listen to this guy. This guy's a walking encyclopedia on wrestling and wrestling history. And if you give him time, he can tell you exactly what these guys are thinking at. I can do it. Lou can do it. And somebody's like, oh, the fans know. What are they thinking right now, Lou?
Well, first of all, what they're thinking is they're both two very capable athletes. Who's quicker? Who can move around? Who can get behind a guy and take a guy to disadvantage and perhaps go for a quick pin? They both want to do it. You know, if you don't get out there and you don't win, you don't make the money. I mean, you make something, but you're not progressing your career. Now, Scorpio's a great athlete, but this Julio Sanchez, look at that move. Oh, I used to do that when I was
Julio. We've got all the different pronunciations tonight from Lou Albano.
That's you were one of the greats, but I don't consider myself that.
I was in control here with you.
Yeah, okay, go right ahead.
Oh, that was beautiful.
There it is.
Look at
Look at the.
Oh,
God. What a drop kick.
And a reversal, he took him down. Look at that job.
Now, that was a drop kick, not a leg drop, but it was a drop kick. But it was
a drop kick, turned him around. That was good stuff.
Well, let's sort of give him a little bit of leeway here because he's sort of new to this. And
We don't know basic wrestling terminology.
He doesn't seem bad. He looks like he's got the brain of a dehydrated baby if they put in a picture of a package like that, but he's not a bad guy.
Scorpio's got him by the hair right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that move.
Into the ropes.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Oh, look at that drop kick.
That was a great drop kick by Scorpio.
Whoa.
Slams him down.
There's
Don't count yet.
Randy, I was talking. Lou, I want to ask you a question. Julio from Mexico says that he is to wrestling what Michael Jordan was to basketball. Now, I know he's sort of embellishing the thought, but do you think that possibly he looks pretty good? He looks pretty good. Do you think he can make that reality come true?
Perhaps I gotta say, Dutch, throughout the couple of years of experience, he'll keep progressing to that point.
I mean, this commentary makes Raw and SmackDown sound like
we'll see what happens in the
the
future.
greatest commentary in the world.
Ladies, he says he's broken more hearts than bones.
Well, they kind of like him. That's why I don't go near him. If I stand next to him, I look like a pit bulldog in heat, so I keep away from the guy.
Off the ropes. Oh, the elbow knocked down Scorpio. That hurt him right
You
on the
guys
chin.
are trying to get in the morning, look in the mirror, fix me now and brush my teeth. You think it's easy going through life like this? Yeah. Well, Julio Fantastico sort of turning this crowd here at the Casino Magic against him, but he don't care.
Yeah,
he don't
no,
care.
no, no,
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Randy. You can't depend on these people out here. They like it, they don't like it. If it affects your wrestling, then you're going to lose the match.
Well, the girls may like him, but the fans here at Casino Magic do not like Fantastico's actions. They're certainly rooting for Too Cold Scorpio.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute, he went for it.
I'm glad the guy that doesn't know wrestling is confused on why people are being bad guys. There's action going on in the ring, and they're cutting to fans that are not paying attention.
Well, Fantastico got dunked.
Well, it can happen over the top, over the rope. And he hit the steel barricade. He hit the steel barricade, Dutch. Did you see that? He drove it back about a foot or so. And that's what you got to worry about when you start.
Julio Fantastico's head just slammed right off the barricade, which is just...
And the farther I'm away from it, the better off. Well, you're an intelligent individual, Dutch, and you realize the dangers. This is like the lucha libre when they're flying all over the job. I mean, you got to be careful. A man, you hear about all the injuries that happen. Well, this can certainly injure a man if you permanently for life.
This is like the lucha libre. They're wrestling all over the place. That's how you get injured. You hear about all the injuries that happen all over the place. Doing this is how you get injured all over the place.
He's not staying down. He is not staying down. Over the top. Wait a minute.
This is tough.
He's back over the top.
That's a tough maneuver.
Definitely.
Here he
This
goes.
is how here it is. Whoa!
Oof.
Oh no, this is devastating.
He's two athletes in the ring.
Boy.
Lou, we're going to call upon you years and years of
I thought this was going to be the match of the night. It started off strong. It's getting worse.
Run back to the dressing room.
That's right. That's what the sparkler. Oh, wait a minute. Look at
Oh. They're not looking where they're wrestling, and they keep on accidentally hitting barriers and having to readjust.
What a pay-per-view event. Dutch, this is great.
I don't see much security back in there yet.
The fight is going on, and they're instead focusing on this fan in a Steve Young jersey who just keeps on walking around, and once he notices that the camera is going back to the fight, he walks in front of the fight. And now they're going to a camera that's on the opposite side of the arena, looking at other fans, again, while this fight is going on.
Bill Stone, what a production, Bill Stone. These are great. What a great match. Now, these guys, they are tough, especially Fantastico.
The production is great. Let's give a shout out to the producer. Names the producer's name, and then says, "You produced a good match." The match is not over. The match is getting worse. Another low blow that nobody cares about, especially the ref who's watching. The ref started at 2 when he just started to count a fall.
No, he got out.
Too Cold Scorpio just did not pick up his shoulders. He picked up his legs. His legs were already up. He just moved his leg an inch.
Maybe a suplex off the top rope or something, that may do it.
These guys are tough.
Oh, and Too Cold Scorpio's head just went right off the concrete.
Just took the turnbuckle apart.
Green tongues, wait a minute.
He went to slide out. Scorpio slides in. Wait a minute.
And now they're just sliding in and out of the ring, not realizing what's going on.
Wow, this is amazing.
Scorpio climbing up on the outside.
To which Lou Albano says,
Elbow.
"Wow, this is amazing."
That's it. 1, 2, 3.
I'm saying it's going to take a little more than that for a guy to be.
No. This is devastating.
So the count was 2. He realized that Fantastico probably wasn't going to kick out at 3. So he stopped the count until he moved. Then he counted 3 and said, "No."
Can he drop the bomb right here? Oh,
And the ref just tripped into the ropes to knock Scorpio off the rope.
one. No. It was close to
This match is going to be pretty good.
Very good.
This match is starting to get pretty good. No, it's starting to get really bad.
A lot of fans for Scorpio.
If I hear there's a lot of fans for Scorpio one more time, because this is like the 5th or 6th time I've heard it. Oh,
Man, he nailed him on that one.
And again, the Dragon has him set up, pulling him by the hair. Slams him down on the backside. Here he goes for the finish up the top Dutch.
Now let me see if he can hit it.
he's on the top rope. No, he's not. He's on the second rope. Off the top rope. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that he hit his first move and they said the match is over, but he didn't pin him. He just stood there to try to get ready to go to the top rope to hit the 450. He landed on Fantastico's head with his body. And Fantastico is just holding his head and looks out of it. He just tried to stand up and fell down immediately. And people are laughing at him. Fans are trying to hit him. This is brutal.
Was on the line. Watch this, just a minute. Don't be talking too much, just watch it. I got you there.
Don't be talking too much. I'm trying to watch. It's the replays.
Great performance by both men here tonight on Heroes of Wrestling.
I got that the tumbleweed to finish them off. This production, Bluestone Productions right here at Casino Magic, one of the greatest of all time. I've been involved for 48 years. I've never seen a production like this match. It's great. I'll promo and tell you later. I have a release right here. And on this release, the Stone announces first Heroes of Wrestling Commissioner, 48-year veteran Captain Lou Albano takes the helm. You're the commissioner of the Heroes of Wrestling. They made me the commissioner. You're the guy. I'm going to tell you right now, Bluestone. I would accept this with great honor. How much money do you pay? What are the terms? How long are you the commissioner? Shut up, I'm going to let you know. I'm not worried about the...
So, commentary just informed Lou Albano that he is now the commissioner of this promotion. He did not know this, and their first question to him is, what is the contract and how much are they paying you? And he says, don't worry, I'll tell you in a second, let me talk. If you didn't know that you were becoming... If you didn't know you were going to be the person, the new commissioner, you're the only commissioner. This is the first night. Oh my God. I'm assuming not very profound film is Angelo, but I'm not 100% sure it is. And thanks, Hot Take Jake, with the kissy.
Thank you, brother. I can't believe it, man.
Okay, well, still, we're not going to go to the ring. Things have changed. We got to go backstage to Michael St. John.
A wise choice for Commissioner and Captain Lou Albano. He's going to have his hands full. And one of the things he may have to intervene with is something that happened right before we went on the air today. In that two of the behemoths of professional wrestlers and King Kong Bundy and Yokozuna got into it on this very spot. King Kong Bundy's interview was interrupted. I want to get King Kong Bundy in here right now because there's a lot of...
I don't want to choose that broken old thought out battle of this commissioner, but I don't care about that. Porkazora, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. When you're interviewing me, I'm going to tell you something that hundreds and hundreds of other men have learned.
King Kong Bundy is calling Yokozuna Porkazuna because he is fat. King Kong Bundy is fat.
King Kong Bundy, Yokozuna, coming up on Heroes of Wrestling.
Now they're calling him Yokozuno.
Our next contest is a tag team match featuring former WWF Tag Team Champions.
Oh boy, it's the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
From Tehran, Iran, the Iron Sheik and his partner, who is accompanied to the ring by Nikita Brezhnikov from Moscow, Russia. Please welcome Nikolai Volkov.
This is some sick joke. So they are cheering for Iron Sheik, but they're booing Nikolai Volkov. They're on the same team. They are both heels. And the Iron Sheik just has a shirt that just says Iran, but the N looks like a W because it's like blurred a little bit. Now we've got the USA chants going. Always good times. And I don't think they realize that, like... Now, they don't know the manager's name. So, Nikolai Volkov and his manager are billed from Russia because the Soviet Union is not a thing anymore. It has collapsed by 1999. But don't worry, it's still the Soviet Union to Dutch. The Iron Sheik is still gold. Iron Sheik will do Iranian flag demonstration. Nikolai Nikolai Volkov singing the national anthem of Russia is phenomenal. This is how you get... This is what you should have done to Rusev. Rusev should have had to, like, do the national anthem of Russia. Phenomenal. Oh boy, and
wait a minute, I think we're going to be treated a little different. I'm just going to respect Russia, respect Iran, and you shut up, don't say it, USA, USA,
oh, that's what I wish I could do to this pay-per-view, is just fucking hawk a loogie right on top of it, because this is absolute garbage.
USA. They don't like Nikita Brezhnikov They don't like Nikolai Volkov. They don't like the look like they like the Iron Sheik. But I think the people actually being a little bit rude here. So shut your mouth.
A very volatile situation.
Well, it looks like the Iron Sheik is ready to go now. He looks like he's fought. Wait a minute. What's he got there?
He's losing the match, is he?
Well, what that look like? I don't know.
So they have 2 flag stands for the 2 flags, but they aren't putting them in there. So instead, the Iron Sheik is just going to pick them up and twirl them. That takes a lot of strength. It's a flag stand. It's 2 flag stands that have caps on them. They've turned his mic off, so he's just yelling at the crowd now. Now it's back on. Don't say USA.
Again, he spits into the microphone, taunting the American crowd.
Fucking God.
Again goes up USA.
Well, I'll say one thing here, it's casino magic. They're on their combined weight.
Centennial Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, but we're Bay
From
City.
New Zealand, Luke Edwards to men from down under.
Here it comes. The former champion and the Bushwhackers, Luke and
The former bushwhackers, the men from down under.
Luke and Butch. You're done.
Right, you get Luke and Dutch. Don't never put me in a category where these guys are. Never. That's a real match. I know you didn't. But you may have something like, peripheral meaning. Look at that. Let's spread the seeds. Let's spread the seeds. What do you have to hold? I get going to laid up 2 or 3 days. Probably pull up some antibiotics. And you won't know where it comes from. But this guy right here.
I'm glad they are saying that they are mentally challenged and that they need the fans to pump them with antibiotics. How in the world was any of this okay? I thought he was going to kiss him on the lips. You know what their gimmick is. It's to lick.
Now, what would you do if one of these guys come to work and kiss you? What would you do?
I've run.
Here comes Ray. Look out.
He's not going to kiss me. You don't have to worry about that.
They're walking around the ring, down under, they think they're like Outback Steakhouse or something. I don't know what they're going to do.
They are dated to
They think it's Saturday night, they're out drinking these bottles.
They are from Down Under, which the only place in Down Under is an Outback Steakhouse. But they're from New Zealand, which is pretty much Australia, according to them. And I know it's also just, I just don't want this to keep going.
If you ask me, see, that's good. That's good. See, you can't dance around that ring all night long. You can't dance around, Because these guys, this Iron Sheik, this Nikolai Volkov, they're all business. They really want to come after you. They want to bring the battle to you. And you better be able to bring the battle back, or you're going to end up on the short end of the stick. You know what the short end of the stick is?
I understand.
Like a 1, 2, 3. The stick started at 1, and then 1, 2, 3. And the 3 does the short end, you end up on the short end of the stick, like a 1, 2, 3. But a lot of people don't know that, so I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Along with all the fans will be watching Heroes of Wrestling here on pay-per-view.
Nikolai Volkov out there.
Oh, they got
Using his leg to see if he gets his arms around. He likes that bear hug. It's Nikolai Volkov.
well, Bush in a little bit of trouble right now.
He's getting pushed around. Got tags, and they're both in.
Oh, dear Lord. This is some of the worst wrestling I've ever seen.
They got Lesnikov good too.
So I thought the first 2 matches were bad. This is horrifying. They're crowd favorite. They are just doing clotheslines. And the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov are falling over. Way beforehand. The crowd is chanting USA for New Zealanders.
Heroes of Wrestling. I think they should just leave these guys alone for a while.
I don't think anybody knows what's going on anymore.
They can do what they want to do. If it was me, I'd probably come out and crowd, slap each and every one of them individually. Because they wouldn't holler at me. I'll tell you that right now. Wait a minute, the Sheik over here close to our...
Iron Sheik gang on the mic. Don't know what he said because... Oh, the Iron Sheik has said that if he hears a USA chant, they're quitting the match.
He said it in English, but it's so broken up. But what he said was, if the fans don't stop yelling USA or USA, he was going to retire. Well, that's what I'm telling you. If they didn't shut up, they were going to leave.
They get their feelings hurt, they're going to leave. You have to be competitive.
Freddie Roosevelt and I was talking. I was in the middle of the Senate when he stepped all over me.
And they're walking
Now, if you just don't listen, 5 seconds more,
out.
I'll finish that.
All right, Gus, go ahead.
Oh, well, I've already said it now. I've already said it. Okay, look, these people here in Mississippi, they can count. They surprise me. They can count to 8. Good. Okay, now we see Luke squared off with Nikolai Volkov. Headlock with Volkov a fight. Luke down in the corner.
Volkov hits him with a punch, and Luke runs across the ring from it and slips and falls. Oh, and Nikolai Volkov tries to get his leg up for a kick. He couldn't do it, and Luke just falls down for him.
Gonna get the crowd with the USA. Let's see if Volkov leads the squared circle.
There's a USA chant again, and the commentators are saying that Volkov should leave the ring and leave the match. Why?
Okay, now the Sheik-Can doing a little double team on.
The Butch is now attacking the ref, which is allowing Iron Sheik to come in. Iron Sheik did not tag in, but the ref has just accepted that it must have happened.
Mid-European pose.
The Iron Sheik has the ref around the neck and is telling him to disqualify Butch.
Well, a lot of things that happen in wrestling that shouldn't happen, but unfortunately,
Butch is threatening to attack the ref, and they've swapped sides again. Volkov has now come in, and again, no tag was made, and they are totally fine with it. Ref has just gone to the crowd and asked if there was a tag. This is not how wrestling is supposed to work.
Look at that. Panoramic view. Casino Magic, the entertainment and golf resort in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi.
Iron Sheik, former WWF champion.
Second time I've heard WWF referenced
That he had Luke in trouble.
on commentary.
When you're ready,
He has a McVeigh right now, the Iron Curtain Canvas.
Russia sucks is the chant now for the Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik.
Fans are yelling, Russia sucks at this point.
Nikolai Volkov once a member of the famous tag team, the Mongols, with Tito Mongol. What a vicious tag team that was.
Again, no tag made. This time the ref watched it not happen. Butch has come in and just attacked, and he's threatening to get kicked out.
Taking him back in the corner.
Oh, that was actually a really good corner bump. A corner buckle bump.
The Sheik just in the corner, spitting profusely. He looks like he's spitting on the fans at ringside.
He's going to slam Luke.
Oh, he's taking down. Get him back
He's
up.
playing with him. He's got that bear hug.
Oh,
He's
God.
going to dump it.
The soft slam. 1, 2.
just gently put him on his knee and then got him for a 2.5 count. Literally picked him up, tried to slam him, realized he didn't have the strength to do it, and so he put his knee out for it. Now Sheik is in. He is putting in the camel clutch, which is not in at all because Luke is just on his knees. He's clearly tapping, but nothing. Butch is in and breaks it up, and again the ref is threatening to disqualify them and eject him, even though he's in the match. Volkov has come in, and Volkov, again, no tag.
Volkov having his way. Look at that big 15 or 16 shoe that Volkov wears. Stop him up. Away on one of the Bushwhackers. Wait a minute. Both men down now. He needs to make that tag and see if he can make the tag. Can he get over there? And here's the tag. Push it back in. And he's hammering away. Showing great speed with those shots. He has them both under control. And headbutt them. And there goes Prostakov. And the men from down under have taken control. Well, the Bushwhackers sort of got it going their way right now. Let's see if they can finish him off, though. Let's see if they can finish him off. Both men down. Let's see if they can finish off Volkov with the Iron Sheik here. Wait a minute, the Rams certainly would love that. Well, I sort of like it myself. Wait a minute. It looks like a 2-on-1 situation now. Exactly what we have at this stage.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, he's giving him something. Oh, he's giving him an object. There is a foreign object.
Another foreign object has been introduced. Another super fast count. Volkov attacked the Iron Sheik with the foreign object for no reason. And that's how the game is over.
Everybody here in the Casino Magic, Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, going all around the ring, giving everybody a big Australian hug.
They just announced the winner of the match were the Bushwhackers, but they're also called the now the Bushwhackers are chanting USA. Iron.
Then they go at it. Here they go. Volkov and the Iron Sheik about to go at it. Iron Sheik's blaming Volkov for the loss. Volkov don't want to be picked on. Now you've got Nikita Kreznikov, the newly appointed manager of Volkov, trying to get him off. Now, the Russian hero here is the maker. After killing Jesse Killenberg. Well, they've made friends with themselves, but there are no friends in the building. The thumbs down from the fans here. This season is not like. Well, they made up for the fans, don't you think? Maybe they've taken some action. The Sheik here is going to kick this one right in the head. Boom, right there. One headbutt to another. Oh, their teammates remember it was Volkov who takes the Sheik out. Wait a minute. Now you see a little teamwork of the Bushwhackers neutralizing Volkov, getting the pin on the Iron Sheik for 1, 2, 3 here of Heroes of Wrestling. It was an easy pin after that missed timing. Let's go back to our note on the internet. www.scootswrestling.com for all the information on wrestling. Any wrestling body. We also want to talk about www.heroesofwrestling.com where you can pick up all the wonderful merchandise. We have great hats, there's Heroes of Wrestling on it, tremendous shirts, beautiful material for you to pick up. There it is right on the internet. It will be great to have in your home or on your body.
Blanchard.
This is another one of the stars, I'm sure, for the Heroes of Wrestling event. Who can it be? It's Tully Blanchard, one of the Four Horsemen. Hi, Tully, good to see you. We want to see if we can get a word with you here.
Well, it's, I tell you what, it's...
Holy shit, what in the world is happening? Stan Lane is attacked. Tully, can we get security? I cannot believe what's happening here. Let's just separate these two.
Tully Blanchard attacked before the match. Oh, man.
That attack was just not called for. Well, it may not have been called for, but it didn't happen, so we don't settle tonight. Got in ring. All right, the dramatic interview later followed. We got to hear from Tully Blanchard after he took that beating from Sweet Stan Lane. Yeah, let's listen to this. I have been in wrestling a long time, and I've been out of it a long time. And I came here and I agreed to do this thing, the Heroes of Wrestling, and we're looking to have fun and, you know, have a good match with Stan Lane. I don't do this for a living anymore. This kind of stuff here is,
Tully Blanchard just telling everybody, I don't wrestle anymore, but I wanted to do this for fun.
We're talking about the intensity that I had with Dusty Rhodes and Ronald McDaniel and the Road Warriors and Demolition and Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels when they were just coming up with the WWE. We're talking about taking everything that you got, everything that you are, and bringing it and stirring it back up. You know, I've been gone and just subdued and low-key, low profile. But you know, Stan Lane, I'm going to tell you the truth. The only reason you ever became a world champion is because you were Bobby Eaton's partner and Jim Cornette standing in the corner. And you rode a tidal wave that you didn't build. Well, the Four Horsemen was a tidal wave that I helped build. And you're going to find out just exactly what a tidal wave is all about. Because I'm going to tell you, Stan, 10 years is bubbled up inside me. 10 years all of a sudden, at one time, is bubbled up inside me. And everybody that's ever screwed me, anybody that's ever done me wrong, is all coming out. And Stan, the times and the feelings that I used to have for Dusty Rhodes have all just come to surface. And the feelings that I used to have for people like Jim Hurd and the people that signed the contracts with the WWF and WCW, it's all come to surface. And I don't need to scream and holler anymore. I just got to look at my blood because you wanted to jam me in.
Third
trunk
WWF reference.
It's too late for you to make a name for yourself. And I promise you, Tully Blanchard might be a little bit old, but I still got the fire that made me what I was. And Stan Lane, you will find out what being a horseman is all about tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is a singles match. First off, weighing in at 236 pounds from Pensacola, Florida, Sweet Stan Lane. I don't know how sweet Stan Lane is anymore after that heinous attack.
I don't know how sweet Stan Lane is.
Star protege of the legendary Ric Flair. What happened to Patty was one snack in the early 80s, and he has great martial arts skills. And he's a pretty good solo wrestler. Sweet Stan Lane. Wait a minute, Stan's going to come. You know something, buddy? You're doing a pretty darn good job out here trying to be a ring announcer. I know you're a local guy and you want to impress all your friends, but you know, a man of my accomplishments, a man who's a member of the Fabulous Ones, the Heavenly Buddies, and the Midnight Express, the only tag team to be not only the U.S., but the world WCW tag team champions at the same time.
Oh,
I deserve a little bit
WCW with the shout out.
You know,
Oh,
since I quit wrestling, I moved on to the field of broadcast, if you couldn't tell. I'm the broadcast of the World Wrestling Federation. And now I broadcast for ES.
four WWF references.
Turn your hearing up and check this out.
Stan Lane also talking about how he has quit wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the original gangster of love. I took the scales at 228 3/4 pounds. I am Sweet Very good. Excellent. Hit your heart out, pal.
Sweet Stan Lane. One hell of an introduction, where both wrestlers have announced that they are retired and don't want to wrestle, but they are doing this for fun.
His opponent, weighing in at 241 pounds, from Charlotte, North Carolina, Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard's picture is him with somebody's title. Again, Pyro.
Tully Blanchard, of course.
Look at Tully Blanchard. Mr. Four Horsemen. Brother, you don't look like a thoroughbred horse anymore. You look like a damn work mule. If you get in the ring, I'm going to ride you like Secretary. You know, this guy's preaching his kids.
You're not a thoroughbred anymore. You're a Wharton horse. Stan Lane has run out of the ring once Tully Blanchard got in. The bell rang once he got out of the ring.
One reason, of course, turn back the clock. Turn back the clock to 1988, 1989, Mid-Atlantic. And you had Arn Anderson, and you had Tully Blanchard, and then you had Stan Lane.
And Stan Lane out again.
Classic confrontations, classic battles all over the Carolinas, all over Virginia, and they've taken it in other parts of the country. And right now, Tully Blanchard, of course, he's got a score to settle, and Stan Lane trying to chase him all over the ring.
Got that elbow, and obviously the ladies right around the ring very interested in Sweet Stan Lane. Ooh, nice takedown there by Sweet Stan Lane.
Well, how can showing off his physique?
A modeling job by Sweet Stan Lane.
You know, I think Tully Blanchard didn't give Stan Lane the proper credit when he became world champion.
I just want this to end. I've still got another hour.
That's like really cutting Stan Lane short. I think he needs to give him a little bit more respect, regardless of
I've still got another goddamn hour of this shit.
And we may be seeing a classic match, old school wrestling right here between these two men. Tully Blanchard credentials speak for himself. Stan Lane, his credentials speak for themselves. And these guys are going at it tooth and nail outside the ring.
They're exchanging blows.
The crib is not going to, I don't think the crib is going to hold them tonight. I don't think they're going to pay any attention to the ropes. And they pay little attention to the referee.
Tully shaking up all the time.
See what I mean? They don't care. If the rope is,
you know what we saw earlier, what Sweet Stan Lane did when they attacked him outside when Tully came up in the limousine. So anything goes with Sweet Stan Lane. He takes out his vengeance on Tully Blanchard.
Well, he came up in the old school, like, do it to them before they do it to you.
And he's doing it right now.
Well, I think, you know, that you've got to do that. You never had a fight like that. Have you ever had a fight?
He's a guy.
See, you never had a fight like that. See, I've fought all my life. I fought in bars, you know, on the side of the road. I fought in rings. I fought everywhere. You bragging about that? Well, no, but you've got to, you see, because this is some tough guys. If you're going to fight, you got to go and look at it. You got to get it
He's
done.
coming there, and he goes, Sweet Stan Lane.
You got a few good moves, too.
Ladies like that.
You know, some guys like it, too.
I think we should go there.
Oh, neck breaker. A textbook neck breaker by Stan Lane.
Just kicking out at the last moment with Tully Blanchard.
Well, Stan Lane, he's got a few fans out here tonight.
We've got a chant that the horsemen suck. That's good.
Well, Tully Blanchard's capable of taking your body apart piece by piece. Chop them down. Nice move by Sweet Stan Lane.
A double
Come
cross.
on, Cowboy.
Wait, he's got the chin and the monkey on him.
Got him in that lock.
And this is a very difficult hold if you're on the receiving end of it.
Todd Taylor, our referee, taking a very close look at this move. Not been able to get the shoulders down yet, but that is painful. Tully's taking some beating here. And
Well, you know that
able to tear away for a moment, but then Sweet Stan Lane holding on. Now he's got a body slam off the rope.
He dropped him right across that top rope. Yeah, I think he had the Blanchard confused with this, and Blanchard was probably getting prepared for for a meeting with a mat, with a body slam, but he got met with the top rope right across the neck. Well, it's Stan Lane going for the ride here.
Airborne right on top of the back.
Drops that leg across him.
Look at them mesmerized. Look at the eyes of the women just looking at them, mesmerized by the sweetness Stan Lane.
I think she's looking at me.
No, I think they're looking at Stan Lane.
See, that's what you get from thinking, Randy. What's she looking at now?
She's not looking at us. 1, 2.
Come on,
Tell us just got out of there in time.
Come on, Sam. Now, she looking
Look
at
at this. The dates on
She's
it.
looking at everybody. She's looking at
The
everybody.
dates are not even looking at their men right now. They're so enamored with sweet Stan Lane.
I think you kind of liking yourself, Randy.
Well,
You're talking
he's
about
captivated this entire audience. Stan Lane over the midsection. Here's a chance for Tully after he got Stan.
Oh, and Stan Lane just dove out of the ring when nobody was out there.
Her mind is on Stan Lane. So's Tully. Remember, he wants that revenge for earlier today when he was cut, when he was thrown down in the limousine.
Well, you know, the ladies that come to the matches, they're gonna look at these guys, and sometimes, you know, that's why guys are gonna bring their ladies to the matches, because, you know, you're gonna see some good-looking guys here. You know, for years I had that problem myself.
These are the heroes of wrestling at its best.
Wait a minute.
Casino Magic.
They're right in front of us almost now. Wait a minute, he's back heeling him, he's taking him down. Wait a minute, he's trying to put a figure four on the outside. He's got it on the outside of the ring. But you can't win that way, Blanchard. You can't win.
Figure 4 on the outside of the ring.
Back in the ring.
That must hurt. Oh, we've got an eye rake.
Going for the eyes of his face. Well, he got whatever he could get.
He scratched his face. Why is this a fucking match?
Blanchard's struggling on the outside a little bit.
That's always going to get in there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Tully Blanchard can barely stand. He's like hunched over whenever he's moving. He's crawling a lot.
See if we can lock him down.
Who thought this was a good pay-per-view idea?
Stan looking for the corner like he's trying to get there.
Sam Lane just tried to reach out like he had touched the ropes, but the ropes are nowhere close to him. And now they've both just collapsed in the ring, not knowing what the hell is going on. I think they were supposed to be close to the ropes for a rope break, and they weren't. Oh god, they're trying to do a tombstone. Tries to do a backdrop and was that close to just dropping Stan Lane on his head and neck. That close.
This has been a war between Stan Lane and
This has been a war. It's
Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute.
is that it? That's Stan Lane win?
Stan winning? Wait a minute.
Stan Lane thinks he's won.
I think Stan won. Wait a minute. Stan won this one?
It looked like Todd Taylor counted to 3. Now he's saying
No,
no.
now he's waving it off.
He did wave it off.
so the
Wait a minute.
Reversing the decision that he gave it an illegal move.
Wait a minute. Stan Lane.
So the ref got.
He pinned Tully Blanchard.
Alright, so there was a
They changed the decision.
Very simply, both
suplex.
shoulders were down. The referee counted 3. It looked like Tully Blanchard got these up just on the 3 count. And
We're still going at it.
There's a suplex.
Tully Blanchard coming back.
Tully Blanchard's shoulders were down.
The outside of the ring.
They counted to 3.
Here on Heroes of Wrestling. Right here, Tully Blanchard has just
Stan
He's declared the winner.
declared himself the winner because he was pinning him,
He's already walking back into the dressing room.
but he wasn't pinning him because they were both laying next to each other.
He thought he won the match. There's that striking pose.
The ref realized that after he counted it, said, no, it's not over, and then declared Tully Blanchard the winner due to illegal move, and then changed it to Tully Blanchard winning because Stan Lane's shoulders were down.
referee sliding in the count is going 1, 2, and we're going to see an arm shoot up here maybe in a minute. Okay, here's the good angle. See, when I call for something, then you get it. My track crew out there in my truck, they call it for me. Now we're going to get the good angle here. Let's see that. Okay, watch the arm. 1, 2, 2. He's counting with both hands. See, the arm comes up, and that's, but that's a little bit of borderline, too. Looks like Stan Wayne's arm up just a little bit. But
Everybody's had an arm up. It shouldn't have been counting. This was a horrible match with a horrible finish. This is easily the worst finish I've ever watched in the history of wrestling. I went into this knowing that it was bad. I didn't know how bad it was going to be.
Dan, I'm going to take the steak, and especially that snake.
Hey, I don't have a problem with Jake the Snake Roberts, but this isn't the same thing will do. I don't want to see him giraffes or rhinoceroses or pythons or cobras. That's the wrestling match, right, buddy?
I don't have a problem with with Jake the Snake. I have a problem because this is not the San Diego Zoo. This is a wrestling ring. I don't want to see giraffes or rhinoceroses.
It features the big man. First off, coming to the ring, weighing in at 345 pounds.
Oh boy, it's the one-man gang. Oh boy.
The one-man gang earlier today was had a foul here at the casino match. And then he went into the corner by himself for hours. Look at that. Not even explaining what he was going to do and do the butcher. Look here, this guy here is a local favorite here in the casino magic.
So, I came into this. I knew it was going to be bad. I wanted this to be the punishment. It was like, I know that everybody says this is one of the worst things ever. It's a perfect start for punishments. I didn't think I was going to have to do this. I didn't want to do this. Nobody wanted to do this.
These are two animals going in to do it. After the butcher and the one-man gang. I'm here to see this.
Going into this, though, I had seen two horrible matches that I would say are like 0 star or 0.0 out of 10 or out of 5 matches. They're Jenna versus Charmel from TNA and Sting versus Jeff Hardy in TNA. Tonight I've seen 4 matches that I could say were 0 stars. Tully Blanchard versus Stan Lane is easily a 0 star. Like, the fact that that was a match boggles my mind. The fact that people were cheering for it and acting like it was good. Now, Abdullah the Butcher has one of the coolest themes in all of wrestling history. It's one of my favorite themes. Of course, they're not going to be able to use it in this. However, it is one of my favorite themes of all time. It's a Pink Floyd song from the album Metal, which is an underrated gem.
These guys that stay up left buckets and coaches, the Carlos is not the only one.
It's One of These Days. It's the intro song to it, the album, and it's easily one of the greatest intros or songs for a wrestler to come out to, that I know of. So this is a no DQ match. So they're using chains, they're using chairs. Abdul the Butcher is a strong finisher. He has finished people off before. If you're a wrestler, I think you're a good finisher then, because you've probably finished somebody off before. He's pulling that chain tight. The chain is literally just dangling, not doing much. Abdul the Butcher is just getting gushing blood out of his head already. It looked like he had scabs to start the match that One Man Gang has just picked off, which is just absolutely disgusting and disturbing. Why the fuck would you pick somebody else's scabs?
These guys, that's over 700 pounds combined. I am going to move. You might not have audio.
Yay, hard chair shots to the fucking head.
Move by the one-man gang. Dutch is coming back into our location. He moved out of harm's way.
Abdul the Butcher is gushing blood off his head. He's bleeding on the fans in the front row. They're trying to push him into the ring post. One Man Gang's trying to push him into the ring post, and instead, he's just falling into the ring post. Abdul the Butcher can barely walk. I don't think Abdul the Butcher's got to move in yet. So he's trying to make a noose around. No, never mind. He wrapped it around Abdul the Butcher's face and then let it go. One Man Gang, right in front of the camera, is kicking him in the head, but is not making any contact until the final one, where he looked over and saw the camera and then grazed his foot over the head. He then got a chair.
Get that chair out of it. That chair should not be up there. He's not going to go back. You think that referee's that stupid?
Oh, so now it's been said that this was not a hardcore match. It is a DQ match. Chairs should not be allowed, but if you brought something to the ring, it is okay. Hence, why the chain can be used. Abdul still just bleeding everywhere.
One Man Gang screams restoration. Right on top of that, right when he's bleeding, he's going to take full advantage of that cut is what that is. You see the skull and crossbones tracing One Man Gang's outfit here tonight. And the hero is going to sit on the rope. That's 300 and some odd pounds sitting on you. You can't breathe. People got their cameras out there tonight, knowing this is an historical event in the wrestling profession.
This is a historical event in the wrestling world. Yeah, it's historically bad. The last two wrestling matches, events that I've watched, NXT TakeOver 25, which was outstanding match after outstanding match after outstanding match after outstanding match after outstanding match. and Double or Nothing, which was, again, a bunch of outstanding matches, minus one, which was Aja Kong and that 6-woman match. Abdul the Butchers has a fork and is cutting One Man Gang up. And that's okay because Abdullah had it in his ring gear when he came out. So it was okay because he had brought it out. Why? So, according to Abdullah the Butcher's manager, this is Kentucky now, and he wants to prove that the idol of Kentucky, One Man Gang, is false and needs to be killed and destroyed, and he is going to do that. Well, now they are both gushing blood. And again, a disqualification match where you can get disqualified for using weapons that you didn't bring to the ring. If you brought it to the ring, you're okay. Now they're using a chair again, and it's fine. Another hard chair shot. The ref is turning away whenever action happens because he does not like this. Another fork has been brought in. So the ref hasn't seen the fork used because every time he goes to use it, the ref turns his head away because he doesn't like it. A fan has just gone and picked up the fork and is rubbing it on his face. I think he licked it. It's fucking disgusting. Who thought this was good? So they've called the match off because they touched the announce table. Event security, which looks like it's security for the actual place, have come out and are now taking chair shots because they're trying to get them away from people because they keep bleeding on the fans. The fans don't seem to care. The fans are rubbing their faces the faces of the wrestlers on their shirts so that they get their blood. Security has cuts now. The refs are getting it. So there's two different types of security. There's the security that you can clearly tell are like the hired security that are like fake. And then you've got the event security, which are like people that are as far back, like when they do these pans, you can see them in the corner sometimes or in the middle of the rows. They're like guarding the people. And those officials are the ones that jump the barricade to try to break this fight up and tell them to stop bleeding on people. And they're the ones who are getting beat up. The yellow shirt guys, who are the security people that it looks like the promotion has, came out and they're getting attacked too. I don't know what's going on now. Abdullah the Butcher and One Man Gang are struggling to leave and are now just at the top of the ramp, huffing and puffing and breathing on each other. And so that was a double count. It is listed
What a graphic shot.
as a double count out due to being counted out, but there was never counting. Counting never existed in that match.
He really brought the bacon home on that one.
Security is okay. They're groggy. They're being helped off. That's a very good sign.
And this is right where they were at the broadcast table here.
Two matches left, guys. 2 matches left. I'm almost through this. 2 matches left. We've got Jimmy Snuka and Bob Orton, and that final match of Jim Neidhart and King Kong Bundy versus Jake and Yokozuna. The only thing I have ever seen before this of this pay-per-view is Jake Roberts' promo beforehand. Because supposedly, like, you can just see that he is just slurring his words. He doesn't know what's going on. This is like height of his alcoholism and demons, like, really out there in the public. So, like, it's not something funny or anything like that. But
Unbelievable. Are you all right? I'm okay. Go ahead. I'm fine. We're fine. You were closer to it than I was. Okay. A little bit earlier, there was a card game. Jimmy Snuka, Cowboy Bob Orton. You know, they've been feuding since 1984. But bygones did get bygones. It appeared that everything was okay. Well, the surveillance cameras here at Casino Magic went over at that camera on top. We were able to catch the pictures of what happened. Watch this.
I'm telling you right now, the guy's a crook that we have. The guy is a crook in the face. Come here, man. Let me go. Hey, Jimmy! Look at that card! Look at the card there, Jimmy! Look at that! Underneath the belt! Look at that, Jimmy! You're the crook, you demon head with you moron! You're gonna do it! Don't point your head at me! Go ahead!
so this match is because of a card game that happened today. Where Bob Orton cheated, but I think Lou planted a card when Bob Orton got up.
48 years of experience. I will call it like I see it. There'll be no favorites, no partiality. I'll do what I gotta do. But tonight, the main thing at hand is the main man, Jimmy.
Now, Lou is telling everybody that he has no favorites, but he is the manager for Jimmy Snuka. Let that sink in. Also, let it be known that Jimmy Snuka is most likely a murderer. But anyway, back to this whole, how do you claim that this match was set up today when it had been booked previously before this happened?
So we solicited a response from Cowboy Bob Orton.
You know, here I go, trying to beat a man in an innocent game of cards. Albano, I don't know how you do it, man. Snooker, I know you ain't got the brains. But Albano, how you got that card? How you put that card in on me? I don't know, baby. And then stand up and accuse me, Cowboy Bob Orton, of cheating? No way, baby. But I'll tell you what to have then. You got the Cowboys dander up. Can't wait to step in the ring with you, Snooker. And Albano, stick your nose in there one time. I'll slap you, boy.
Bob Orton, his greatest creation was not Randy Orton. It's the fact that he decided that this would be a great idea to do. He's getting booed, but I think he's the face. Well, like, they're trying to make him a heel, but, like, I don't know. I mean, knowing what I know now, People are trying to grab the hats, the arms, everything of these wrestlers. This is like the worst of the worst wrestling crowds. I'm glad that they're making sure we all know that they have never stopped fighting each other since 1984.
He hails from the Fiji Islands, weighing in 235 pounds, Jimmy the Superfly Snuka.
Now they're booing these two as well, so I really have no idea what the heel face dynamic was supposed to be.
We understand that this will be the captain's final material.
Oh, so they announced that this is Captain Lou's final managerial match, as he is retiring from being a manager due to him having to be impartial as commissioner. That's good.
We've been anticipating this one since the card game, and we saw that video earlier.
We've been anticipating this match since the card game. This was announced before the card game.
I have a thought. It just occurred to me. I have a thought. Okay, Lou. Good. I'm going to bring it.
We heard you, Lou. You have to be working on your match. Lou, go back there. You work on your match. He's coming over here. He wants to do the announcing.
Well, he's the commissioner now, so
He can do anything.
yeah, he can do anything he wants to do. But a thought just occurred to me. If being the commissioner, isn't this like a conflict of interest?
Well, this is his last managerial job tonight. He's stepping down.
You sure of that?
Yes, we've been.
Oh, who told you that?
Yeah, we've gotten the confirmation.
We do have
Yeah,
confirmation.
we do have confirmation.
No, I didn't see confirmation. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the match here. A classic match here. Jimmy Snuka, come
Work
with
on the
my
win section immediately.
And I don't think he was cheating at the card game, actually.
What? I fly right up that rope again. We've seen that for so long. A reversal, 1-2, near pin by Cowboy.
I'm going to tell you, Kelvin Bob Orton, one of the most proficient technical wrestlers ever. Jake Valentine, are very proficient technical wrestlers. Bob Orton, of course, a second-generation wrestler. Bob Orton Sr., of course, being his father. And Bob Orton Jr., of course, named after him.
Dr. Louis did a super class and tights outside the ring.
I'm going to tell you, Randy, we have turned the clock back tonight. We have turned the clock back tonight.
Nostalgia is in.
Wait a minute, elbow right to the forehead of the Superfly.
You can hardly watch that young man because it was violent with the last match with that duel of the Butcher and one-man gang.
The camera following Jimmy Snuka closely around the ring. Bob Orton, he doesn't miss. See, one thing about him, if you really know what you're looking
By the way,
for,
for anybody who cares, I know it's
in his actions, every
2 hours into this thing, but and we still have 0 people that are watching currently. We've had up to 3 people at any time, which is but I will not be watching the Saudi Arabia show because I am firmly under the idea that the WWE should not be working with a country that is discriminatory against homosexuals, women, people of different faiths. The fact that they won't let women wrestle on the show, the fact that they will not let Aleister Black compete due to him having religious symbols on him that they deem as offensive because they're not Islamic symbols. The fact that they don't want Sami Zayn there because he's Syrian. Like you shouldn't support that. Now, with that being said, I do believe I am still going to do predictions for it. If I lose, I lose. But again, it's whatever. To me, this not. I think that in order to get the WWE to stop dealing with the Saudi Arabian government, they need to actually see people not watch their product during those times. I have not watched Raw or SmackDown since Money in the Bank. I've not watched much Raw or SmackDown in between Mania and Money in the Bank, except like the Superstar Shakeups and anything to do with Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt is honestly one of the best wrestlers in the WWE today, and just gimmick-wise and storytelling-wise.
Oregon basketball game or football game. No, this is wrestling. Anything goes. The last match should have told you that. The last match should have told you that. If anything goes, if anything can go.
This match is painful.
I've been pretty nice to you.
I don't like the Superfly snuck up, but this is easily the best match on the card so far.
I gotta tell you, these guys have been battling for nearly 16 years into a new millennium. There's very little that these two don't know about one another.
The announcing is horrible and makes anything that the WWE has done look like top tier commentating. It makes Byron Saxton and JBL and Coach and Booker look fantastic.
He's trying to wear Jimmy Snuka down because he's on top. Now, who's going to expend more energy? The man on top or the man on the bottom? The man on the bottom, and that's what
it's trash. Do not watch this.
Such a good technician that he is in the ring.
Don't do it.
Crafty, cagey wrestler has all the scientific wrestling skills. He's going to have a long time as captain.
Gotta be up at 4 o'clock for work tomorrow. The reason I decided to do this, like, at this time is because I was like, I don't want to wait till Saudi Arabia. And I figured that by watching this, it would put me to sleep. I'm getting more and more tired.
Here we go. More of that rude Mississippi behavior down here.
So both commentators have complained about the fans, saying that they're rude. If they boo a face, it's the one. If they boo the heels, it's the other. The fans have been trying to get into the ring at multiple times, or like over the barricades at multiple times, and then realize what they're doing. Imagine if this was like compelling stories, compelling wrestling. If poor wrestling is making you want to attack. Well, if you had a quality heel in there, or some quality match. Like, there are people in the front row that they just turn to that literally are asleep in the front row, which is what I would be doing right now if I wasn't on live stream. As I just said, Captain Lou keeps on walking away from the action. He is yelling at fans. Fans are trying to get him to autograph stuff. He's yelling at fans because they aren't energetic enough.
What is going to happen when money's going to play? Bob Orton right now dominating Jimmy Superfly Snuka on the first ever Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view. I hope you don't start paying too much attention to these people. Because that is kind of rude to talk about sexual orientation.
I would agree with that.
Now they're making fun of Bob by calling him an F word that I will not repeat because it's a slur. At least the commentary has said that you should not pay attention to this and that is obscene behavior. They've stopped the match because Orton is saying that you shouldn't be talking about that stuff. I respect that. But it's made more people start to chant it.
Now, these guys don't wrestle every day anymore. They don't wrestle like the
commentators got mad that they stopped the match, though, because Snuka was out of it, even though he was standing up. Orton's selling of that headbutt was phenomenal. We've got chants that sound like you're dying in Roblox. Oof, 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 oof. That's what it sounds like. Bob Orton with the spin on the top of the ropes. Those were beautiful. Oh, good. He's no-selling kicks. All right. I've got one more match after this. This is the best match. And I'd give it a star. Maybe half a star.
Wait a minute, he fell on top of him. The referee counts it down. They both look at the both. 1, 2. Nope.
So, Bob Orton was supposed to be pinned there. Snuka was underneath Orton. Both of his shoulders were down. None of Bob's were down because Bob was trying to pin it, looked like. The ref waited. Then started to count. He did 1, 2, and then held up for about 3 more seconds. Superfly finally moves. Then he hits it and says it was a 2 count.
He sort of did a little low quick drop on that top rope. Okay, Bob. Come on, Orton. You need to pull it together right now. Pull it together. Come on. Brain buster it. Brain buster it. All right. I'm going to tell you, these guys, they came well prepared for each other tonight. They came well prepared. You want hell in the fans to say he's going to take stuff out. You watch Cowboy Bob, you're watching a master at work. Master, if you're thinking, wait a minute, what's Lou doing? Lou held the ankles. Captain Lou held the ankles of Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
So, for the second time tonight, we have had a manager turn on their person.
Going after Captain Lou, and I think it's his hand on the turnbuckle. And this is flying away. 1, 2, he got it with it. The Superfly goes to the pin. They're stuck on it.
So, I'm sorry. So, Orton tried to pull Snuka down. Instead, Lou kind of hit Superfly's leg when he tried to grab it. The ref looked, ignored it. Orton is upset because the commissioner just prevented him from winning. The entire crowd now is chanting Bob is a F. Bob Orton kicked out at 2, but they still counted as 3. So it's not good. It's a half star. It's the best match on the card so far. If you like deathmatch wrestling, you'd probably give up Duel of the Butcher and a one-man gang, maybe a star or 2. But I'd give it 0. I'd give this a 0 if I could. But like at least there was proper selling. You can't prevent if you're a wrestler, you can't deal with you can't make a ref be competent at his job. It's trash. I've got one last match here, which is supposed to be 2 matches that they just combined into one due to time and due to Jake's situation.
We've seen that magic before. Still to go. We have Jake the Snake Roberts and
We've got to bring out the snake chant. So here comes Jake's promo.
Our man, Michael St. John.
Gentlemen, back here I have a man of legendary proportions. A
So
man
Jake is wandering around, doesn't know where he is putting his hair around, playing with his hair.
You know, you casino, everybody says, well, gosh, you casino, you should gamble. Let me tell you something, man. Look, you don't want to play cards with me without cheat, okay? I cheat. You want to play 21? I got 22. You want to play blackjack? I got 2 of those, too. You want to play aces and 8s? Maybe I got 2 of those, too. Not gamble with it.
You want to play 21, I have 22. That's how you lose, Jake.
And you want to gamble. The main thing is, you should realize this.
You want to play blackjack, I have 3 of those. You want to play aces and 8s, I have more than all of them, too.
Damien, my friend. My friend Damien is right here.
He's talking about Damien, who is his snake. He's just showing a bag that isn't moving because I'm 99% sure it's a fake snake.
Go ahead, Anvil, roll the dice. Mr. Cameraman, get your ass back up here. Hello?
He's cursing at the cameraman because the cameraman isn't looking at him.
That is not what you do worry about, Anvil.
You're not supposed to worry about the snake, even though they just said that the only thing you need to worry about is Damien the snake.
Worry about the DDT. DDT.
Worry about the DDT. Chant DDT. 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 DDT.
Back to ringside.
So the person who was interviewing him, you could just tell, was frightened because he was happy and everything at the beginning, and then as Jake started slurring words and not making sense and playing with his hair during the interview, you could see that he started to like look at the camera, like look around, like what the hell's going on? Something's wrong. And so we're back to the match. The match is about to start. We got Jim Neidhart coming out. We've got pyro. We've got weird music, lights and lasers.
Little suspense here waiting for the Anvil, the former Classic football star in UCLA.
All right, Jim Neidhart has finally come out after another ref has come out. So we've got 2 refs out there now.
This guy is known for his thunderous power slam.
Jim Neidhart is furious at the fans. He has kept on screaming at them the entire time he came out here. Somebody tried to get in his face with a sign. He slapped it. I don't know who this. I'm assuming Jim Neidhart is the heel.
One of the most evil minds to ever grace a wrestling ring. This man thinks wrestling 24 hours a day.
Jim Neidhart is the most evil man in the history of wrestling, according to these guys, because he has a mind that thinks wrestling only 24/7.
He's going to be accompanied to the ring by his old friend, Damien. He weighs in at 260 pounds. Make welcome, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake the Snake Roberts. Here we go. We've got pyro. We've got green lasers. He's standing at the ramp with his snake bag. Oh, he came out before the pyro started, so he almost just got hit by all of it. He's limping very poorly. He's staring at the ground. He's ignoring the fans. He's just slammed the snake into the ground, or onto the apron, and is just rubbing it into the thing. If this is a real snake, it would be dead or very injured. He just tried to open the bag and then opened it. The bag moved. He closed it, and he's rubbing it again. If that's a real snake, god fucking damn. And Jake the Snake Roberts has just walked to the back. So he put the snake bag in the ring. He has walked all the way to the back.
He left Damien at ringside, knowing Jim the Apple Neidhart is not going to mess with that snake. He can leave the snake there. The snake is unprotected, but the snake can protect itself.
The snake is unprotected, but the snake protects itself. Okay. Neidhart, who had said that he doesn't like snakes or animals, is going right next to the snake. And Jake the Snake is taking his shirt off. He's running it down towards the ring. He's walking around the ring now. He's trying to slap people's hands, but he's nowhere close to any of their hands. He's making finger guns at people. Oh, he's trying to grab a woman. He's getting a woman to rub his tits. Oh, God. This isn't good. Why is this a thing? He tried to get over the ropes and got his leg stuck.
Wrestling background, of course, trained by the legendary Stu Hart from Calgary, Canada. Of course, Jake the Snake, no stranger, even as a small child. His father, a professional wrestler.
We want the snake is the chant. He pointed to himself at first. I really hope that's not him saying he wants to show his penis. I really hope this isn't what's going to happen. And Jim Neidhart has just said, screw this, and has walked out.
These are the guys, along with me and everybody else here on this Heroes of Wrestling card that made all this possible. Jim the Andrew Neidhart, of course, a big star of the WWF. Jake the Snake Roberts, Intercontinental Champion for the WWF, and the rest of every regional territory in the United States. These guys have paid their dues.
Alright, now Jim Neidhart has yelled at some fans and is kind of thinking about coming back in. He has come back in. He's in his wrestling. Oh, they're starting. Oh, he put on a simple wrist lock, and Jake goes to hold his shoulder instead of the arm. He tries to do an arm drag and just kind of pulls him down to the ground instead. Then he realized that he was near the snake and kind of freaked out. even though he's been standing next to the snake multiple times. So now they are trying to guess how big the snake is. They are about to kick the snake. He's pointing to his penis now, and they said the snake again, and so he's pointing to the bag. It looks like it's a real snake.
Right to the midsection goes the ankle, and he pokes him in the eye.
These strikes are hitting. At least it's not. The snake is trying to get out of the bag. There are huge holes in the bag, but the snake is not getting out.
I have a healthy respect for concrete, metal, and snakes. That's another thing I left out a while ago. Okay, the Animal Neidhart taking advantage of Jake the Snake now.
The Animal Neidhart. It's the Anvil Neidhart. He's holding his arm, and Jake is threatening to tap. He's looking at his fists now and saying, "Give it 2 seconds." He's asking people to quiet down. They're chanting his name, and he keeps on telling people to be quiet. He's got his fist in the air. He's running around with Jim still holding him. He put himself deeper into the hold. He tried to go for a DDT. Jim just slid out and almost knocked his head. Oh, yeah, that snake's alive and it is out of its bag.
Where is that snake? That snake is moving. That's gone very far yet. The DDT just stands simply. Wait a minute. He's walking over there. Neidhart is walking over there toward that. And what's that snake to do?
Dutch and Anvil not ready to go at it. Dutch, relax. You don't want to get mixed up. These guys still.
Wait a minute. He's halfway out. What the heck? Get that snake back in there before he just runs right on that snake. Oh, I love him.
So,
yeah, hey, wait a minute. I think Lou Albano, the commissioner, should go come out here and sort of enact some of his newly appointed duties here and put that snake back in that bag. Wait a minute. Yeah, I believe the Boston lawyers do not believe. From a legal bringing it out right now. Oh my God! I'm out of here. Wait a minute. Look at the size of that.
So he's taking the snake now out of the bag, is rolling it out,
He's showing it to everyone.
and he is acting like it is his penis. He has it around his groin and is showing it out. The girls are acting like this is the hottest thing ever. The guys are cheering. He is pretending that he is stroking it. Just
Well, check the snake right now.
Neidhart has left the ring yet again. He is now rolling around on the ground or on the mat with the snake on top of him on his legs. He is cuddling it. He is kissing it. He is licking it now. Okay. And King Kong Bundy has now come out.
Wait a minute, the snake is out, the referee is out, everybody's out. Now King Kong Bundy joining in here. What the? Wait a minute, now this is going to get interesting now. Wait a minute.
Well, this King Kong Bundy doing it. He's in the next match. The 1,000-pound war with the former Yokozuna.
Wait a minute, he's saying he's going to talk to Neidhart. Wait a minute. They got some kind of conversation going over there.
But it's commiserating. I know they don't like snakes, that's for sure. Who does?
Wait a minute.
So Neidhart has just hit the ref. He's attacking Jim again, or Jake. King Kong Bundy is yelling at Jake, it looks like, about him being drunk. They're trying to put him in a sleeper hold. Now he's just kind of choking on him and laying on him. King Kong Bundy just standing around. I don't know where the snake went or the bag. They kind of just stopped when Bundy came out. Oh, they tied the snake back in.
Took advantage of the snake. The human snake, not the reptile snake, took advantage of Jake the Snake Roberts. And this match here,
Crowd is back to chanting DDT.
He's got a little bit of suspense behind him right now. Well, the end zone has the Snake Roberts in a headlock. It looks like Bundy's getting a little bit. He's getting a little bit close to that snake. But watch it, Bundy.
Bundy keeps on trying to get somebody to come out from the back. He keeps on waving his hand to tell them to come out. I'm assuming that Yokozuna, because I know that he's supposed to come out.
No. I should go ask him. I just don't think that's a smart move to sit there and slap and hit a snake.
Jake is just trying to do shoulder thrusts, but it's more of him just lunging and just hitting his head against Jim Neidhart's groin. Neidhart tries to hit him, and
A short clothesline by the snake. Bundy is stolen. Neidhart to get up.
Jake is flipping off the fans, and Bundy, he's attacked Bundy. Neidhart's attacking Jake. Jake just fell on the ground and was just laying there. King Kong Bundy's now attacking. The ref doesn't know what to do. He's just like, oh, don't do it again. He does it again. Don't do it again. He did it again. Don't do it again. He's stopped. Neidhart's taking off part of his singlet. They're not singlets, tights, like the shoulders. And now Yokozuna has made the former Yokozuna. Oh, now they've just dropped the Yokozuna part. He's now the former part now. He's coming in. He's struggling to climb. The girth that moves the earth. So this match is now just occurring. Yokozuna just dropped his robe right on Jake's head. Jake is rolling out. Nobody has told Jake what's going on. Yokozuna and Bundy are going at it now. Jim Neidhart's attacking. It's a 2-on-1. Jake is just kind of standing on the side of the ring and just looking around. Now they have said this is a tag team match. Now it's a tag team match. Wasn't before when they were both attacking. Oh, and Jim Neidhart just right to Bundy. Bundy's rolling out.
This is crazy. So the 1,000-pound war has developed early.
Outside the ring. Looks like he's holding his grips.
Bundy is yelling at some random guy on the side of the ring who's in a suit. Who is trying to tell, he's whispering in the ears of Neidhart and Bundy about what is supposed to do for the rest of the match. And commentary is like, oh, these Bundys look alike. We don't know who he is. No one knows who he is. He must be Bundy's. It's clearly a producer who's just saying, this can't happen. This needs to end. End me now. Jim Neidhart is furious about this. His whole thing is to just make sure that Jake the Snake Roberts gets out. He's trying to whisper in the ear. No, he's biting the head of Jake the Snake. It looked like he was trying to whisper into his ears originally, and then he just instead just got on his forehead and just bit his forehead. And he keeps on pulling him out of the ring just to make sure he's not wrestling, hurt anybody. So it's now just Bundy. And he's trying to whisper it again, and Jake just slaps him away. So, and Neidhart is furious and is just hitting Jake with as many hard chair shots as possible to the head. Now that same guy in the suit shirt is talking to the ref. This match has started, then it became a tag team match, and they haven't done anything. Oh, now he's going for a double chair shot to the head. Oh. I think it's disturbing that they just laugh about this, and the guy in the suit is telling the fans to knock it off. It took 2.5 hours for somebody to tell the fans that this is what they've been saying is inappropriate and what they've been doing is inappropriate. There are kids in the audience who have been yelling slurs at the wrestlers. It's disgusting. Bundy's just got a chair and just slammed the head of. They are making fun of brain damage, saying that, Jake must have been hit in the head too many times with chairs. They're trying to get Jake back in the ring, but then Neidhart tries to get him out of the ring, but he's the legal man, even though they restarted the match and he wasn't in. The producer guy is now attacking Jake. He's just like rubbing his knuckles into his neck.
Okay, Neidhart taking it to Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake, since they got the drop on him, has sort of been on the receiving end of all this punishment that Neidhart and King Kong Money have been dishing out.
I want to know how much money anybody made for this, because this is. So Bundy just got on Jake to pin him. The ref refused to count. Then the ref realized what was going on and tried to count. Jake keeps on. He somehow got his feet on the ropes now. They tried to push it off, but they missed it. Neidhart has come out. Jake has tried to move to the wrong corner. Yokozuna is just standing there with his hand out. Like, he's been out there for maybe 2 minutes, just standing on the ring apron with his hand out while anything was happening. He didn't try to get in. He didn't try to do anything, really. They're taking Jake's boots off. They attacked him with his boot. Bundy let go. Oh, there's a low blow. He low blows Jim Neidhart. Yokozuna's in. 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch, 4 punch. Okay. I'm assuming this is the end. King Kong Bundy is just attacked Jake the Snake. Oh, Jake the Snake has reversed it. but he's too slow to do anything.
500-pound, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So, Jake the Snake Roberts tagged Yokozuna. King Kong Bundy comes in, who is not the legal man, pulls Jake the Snake Roberts in, jumps on him for a splash, and they do 1, 2, 3, call it. Match over. To which the commentators say, excellent, Bundy. Great end. Yokozuna now has the producer guy by the neck as telling the fans to chant DDT so that Jake can hit a DDT. And producer guy is like, no, don't do it. Jake can barely stand. Yokozuna hit him with a Samoan drop, which was actually really good. It was a really nice Samoan drop. And Yokozuna recovered pretty quickly, got right back up. He's, for a big man, he can still move. Jake the Snake is like gasping for air on the side. He's taking the snake out again. Again, is acting like it's a penis. He's asking if he should shove. Oh no. So he laid the snake on the guy that they're calling Little Bundy, and then shoved his hands into his pants and started to look like he was lowering his pants, and they just cut to black. Well, guys, that is it for this live stream. I've made it through. No, hold on. They've come back. Oh, it's just a roll of credits while Yokozuna gets out of the ring and yells at and tries to pick up Jake the Snake and ask him if he's okay, and looks like yell. So that was by Fallstone Productions. I don't know anything about them. Well, thank you guys for joining. We hope to do more videos. I'll be doing more videos out here. This was a $20 pay-per-view when it first came out. Just letting people know that. All right, guys. Have a good night.